What's up? Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you are having an incredible Friday. It's been an awesome week in the entire mortgage industry, and we're very excited to have one of our good friends, Chuck Iverson, hanging out with us this afternoon. And we're excited because there's the Mortgage Innovators Conference coming up in just over a week, and it's going to be an incredible event. We're going to get more into the details here in just a sec. But hey, Chuck, thanks so much for hanging out and joining us this afternoon.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'm thrilled to be part of the Shred Media team.
Yeah,
I guess we'll call it right now.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate very much your support of the Mortgage Innovators Conference and the California Mortgage Bankers Association. It's going to be a great event. I really have been overwhelmed with the outreach from technology companies, marketing companies, CEOs of mortgage companies all came together just to make this thing happen.
From everything, we're going to get into speakers here in just a sec because there's some incredible speakers, and we're actually going to give away 2 free tickets to this event. So if you're watching us live, make sure you stay tuned because we're going to give you a hashtag to comment below that you will be entered in to win 2 free tickets to this awesome. This is going to be insane. And like I said, we're going to talk about some speakers, but Chuck. So being the Mortgage Innovators, this is for more type of executives. There's a lot of tech that's going to be talked about. So who are you really looking forward to a week and a half away, just over a week away? Who are you really looking forward to having down there?
It's when I volunteered to be part of this whole thing, I've been to Digital Mortgage every year and I've appreciated that. I've been to MBA Tech, and I wanted to take the best of those events, but then make it a little bit more practical, pragmatic. And you have to understand that when I was planning this conference, we were coming out of the fourth quarter and the first quarter. And I figured what lenders really want to know is how can I make more money or how can I lower my expenses, right? Especially if you're the business leaders. So we've tried to make this, a conference for business folks and for technology folks on the mortgage side of things. So, we're going to get CEOs, we're going to get operational leaders, we're going to get marketing leaders. We're going to get the technology folks for sure here. And if you're, in smaller organizations, sometimes that person wears multiple hats, and there's always someone who, probably has a Star Wars shirt on that's out there that's leading that organization into change and really wants to do those things.
A Star Wars, the other thing, I say a Star Wars or a Shred shirt, whichever one. They're both cool.
Whichever one,
one of those.
Exactly. One of the things that I really wanted to put my stamp on too was to broaden away from just digital mortgage, which of course is, kind of the backbone of innovation for our organization, but to take that term innovation and make sure people are looking at it on every single facet. The first thing was I wanted the agencies involved because every lender, every loan officer in this country really needs to get on the agency's bandwagon and take advantage of upfront manufacturing of loans, which is so much easier today. But it takes a while to get that. And I also wanted them to be involved so they could tell us where they're going. So we started with that very practical piece of it. Of course, we have process companies there. We have digital components of the industry as well. But I also, being a marketing guy, feel like innovation has to happen on the marketing front as well, too. Absolutely. And that's why we have Sales Boomerang there. We have Social Survey there. And when you look at what's happening in the industry, and in some ways, we have to thank Quicken for putting us all on our A game of like, hey, we need to improve both process. We need to improve costs. We need to do all those other things, but we need to get to the consumer as well, too. So, I know some people in the industry lament that, but at the end of the day, they've shown us the way. And frankly, they're helping support this event as well too. So it's something for all of us to get out of.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And again, like we get it. We get the whole narrative of that and whatnot. And obviously, Josh and I have talked quite a bit about that. But it's true. It's like anything, honestly, that helps the industry innovate and move forward and do different things. is a good thing for our industry. And so I'm glad to see that the California Mortgage Bankers Association is actually taking the lead on this and doing specifically about innovation, right? Innovators. You'd mentioned a good friend of ours, Alex from Sales Boomerang, right? And then Social Survey, who I know those guys very well. Scott Harris is a good friend of mine. KP of PRMG, another good friend of mine.
I know Blend invited him.
Yeah, and then Blend, right? So Blend, I'm an advisor to Blend, and I actually used to work with those guys when we all used to work for Peter Thiel. So very excited to see those guys as well. But it is all about moving this industry forward. It's all about innovation as opposed to iteration. It's about creating and reimagining a new process so that we can be in front of the consumer, that we could get to the consumer first, and so that we can control the narrative as opposed to having it done for us. So I'm glad to see, and Shred Media is excited to be a media partner for this event, because we couldn't think of a better way to expand the vision and mission of Shred is to align ourselves with those with the same views.
Yeah. And then, so on the back end of the business, and I really see this happening too, where we're getting data very quickly anymore, and it's being validated up front, but passing that through to the ultimate investor quickly, instantly, and then informing all the participants in every transaction, that's where we're going to get that consumer experience and lower our costs. So this is such a pivotal thing, and you would think it would all be easy, but you got to put all those ecosystems together, and that's what we're going to talk about a lot in this conference. So I'm pretty excited about the whole thing.
Awesome. We'll look forward to that. I think we just did we lose audio?
Might have.
Okay, you might want to go back to the way that it was before.
Hold on,
hold on real quick.
If your hangout was live, all of a sudden we lost audio.
We lost your audio real quick.
Hold on just a sec, ladies and gentlemen. As you all know, this happens sometimes, so we can play with it a little bit. But I believe we should be back. Chuck, you there still?
I'm here.
Now we got you. All right, Chuck, you're back.
Okay, sorry about that. So
there we go. We got it back. All right. Okay. Technology, you got to love it sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was talking about was, the back end of the industry, and that could be, just the process of getting this upfront data out to the ultimate investors and all the technology that goes through that, automation in the validation space, outsourcing. We have a company called Metasource who's going to be there. That's a pioneer or a leader in that space. So there's a lot going on. One of my personal things that I'm really looking forward to was I was able to get Sarvesh Mahesh from the CEO of Tavant. And Tavant, as you know, is one of the industry leaders out there. But Sarvesh is always kind of behind the scenes there. And I get to personally interview him. I'm going to talk about his Amazon background. And of course, they're the technology provider for MLB.com and other companies that are outside the mortgage space. So I'm looking forward to hearing his viewpoint of what lenders should be thinking about.
Gotcha. So if I'm looking to come to this event, right, and you should be, right, if you care, if you're in the business side or the technology side, C-suite of a mortgage lender, this is something that you obviously want to attend. You want more information about. You want to be able to network with your peers about this topic because it affects all of us as an industry. So if I'm meeting that criteria and I'm in a position in that as a lender, what do you think is going to be something that I'm going to take away from this conference?
Yeah, I think that there's going to be an expanded viewpoint. For example, it's been one of the greatest things for me to do this conference because I've met people like Dave Zitting, and people out there may not know his name, but he was the founder and CEO of Primary Residential, a total forward thinker, and he introduced me to looking at the consumer's journey and their emotional viewpoints and needs, and where, as a lender, you would fit into that space. I mean, that's just one of the kind of thought leaders that we're going to have there. So, it could be, a new marketing partner. It should be, thinking about how our reputation online is managed, how we process loans. Can I lower costs outsourcing? Where, how does my digital technology stack up against some of the people that are here? I've got, like my friend Jim Connell, who's the CIO at Sierra Pacific, is going to be there. He's going to talk about what do you need out of your tech partners and how to negotiate with them and set the proper expectations up front. So there's myriad ways that someone could get there. I would find it hard to believe that someone could come and really be engaged and not get some real meat out of this conference. And frankly, one of the other things we wanted to do with this, I mean, I wanted it to be practical like that. We wanted to keep the costs down too.
Yeah.
You know, some of the other conferences are getting very, very expensive to attend. And this one, you know, the price is right. It's easy to get to in San Diego. It's 5 minutes from the airport down there. The room rates are low. So come on down and, you know, let's talk about the future of our business.
And talking about that, I'm so glad you brought that up because cost is the big discussion. So if you want, we're going to give away 2 free tickets to this conference. So if you're thinking about it and you're like, man, you know, the tickets, maybe those being able to help with that cost is going to get you there. We're going to give away 2 free tickets right now on the live. So comment hashtag innovation. That's it's the Mortgage Innovators Conference, but comment hashtag innovation down below in the comments right now. And before we're done with this live, we will pick somebody to actually give these tickets away to. So go ahead and comment hashtag innovation below. And with that, Chuck, innovation is, I mean, that's why you're calling it the Mortgage Innovators Conference. Innovation with the future of our industry, the future of consumers. I mean, the last couple of years there's been a lot of change. The next 5 years, there's going to be even more change. And that's something you guys are specifically talking about at the conference.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I just see that the biggest single trend in my viewpoint is in terms of processing loans is getting data from the source. And it's going to change the entire manufacturing process. It will change company structures. And, you know, for those companies that really want to get in and kind of understand that and look down the road of the implications and prepare for it, I think it's a bright future. But if you're not, and you keep trying to do it the same way, I just think you're going to get left in the dust, or you're going to have cost expenses that you can't absorb. And one thing that was good of the fourth quarter and first quarter of this year was it showed to the industry how volatile we are in terms of volume and margin, but how important it is to prepare ourselves to be resilient for the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, you know, speaking more to the conference, when you talked about, you know, look, absolutely a lot of these conferences are becoming way more expensive to attend. But think about this, is come down, listen to some of the tech leaders, some of the thought leaders, the innovators in our industry. You got Fannie and Freddie that are going to be there talking about the innovations that they're doing. There are so many things happening. Plus, I don't think you mentioned this yet, and this is something that I've had a chance to be a part of at a different conference, but talk about your Mavericks on the Midway evening.
Yeah, that should be really fun. You know, I think probably some people, at least on the audience, have been to an event there. But in San Diego Harbor, there's a retired aircraft carrier, the USS Midway. And so we're having a party on there. It'll be Top Gun themed because the new Top Gun movie is coming out.
Yeah.
We want to have some fun. So, you know, food, beverage, networking. I think we're going to have flight simulators available.
Wow.
You know, I'm first in line on that one.
Nice.
So it should be a really good time for that. We were pleased to get that done, and you know, really the CMBA stepped up in a big way on this just to make sure that, you know, if someone comes to this, content, networking, and entertainment are all top notch.
Yeah, and I've personally had at another conference in San Diego had an evening on the Midway. If you haven't done it, like, and again, not to take away from the conference, but if you haven't, that's just enough to come anyway. Like, that is a fun event. And again, that's networking, that's having sometimes the conferences are great, the content's great listening, but sometimes a lot of stuff happens outside of that, the networking with peers and just, you know, having cocktails and just talking about business and actually really getting some different ideas and different perspectives on how this industry is going and how you can do things different for your business. The flight simulator, I've done that. It's absolutely amazing. The Midway, it is a top level event. So again, to echo what you said, Chuck, about the CMBA really stepping up to do that, it's going to be a good event. And yes, let's have some fun. Let's actually get into the weeds with this stuff and talk with the people that are actually changing the game.
One of the things that I've noticed about a lot of conferences anymore is that it just seems like the content is going down, or the interest in content, because they're,
Absolutely.
one of the things, like especially the secondary meetings and stuff, we all have a bunch of meetings and we miss out on the content. And I view this conference, especially since it's new, people aren't going to come with a lot of prearranged meetings. You're going to get a lot out of the content here. And we have a thing called, so let me tell you a little bit about the format of the conference itself. So we have 3 levels of presentations. So the first is called Innovator Insights. Those are a little more in-depth discussions with a couple people. And it's going to be conversational in nature, not necessarily a panel where the same person answers the same question 5 times, but we'll give each of the thought leaders on the stage a chance to get deep on some things.
Nice.
But they are also concise, so that, it's going to be really really tight. Like for example, we have Joe Langder from Blue Sage and Brent from Freeform, and Dave's going to interview those guys, and that's going to be that's an example of Innovator Insights. We also are going to have what we call Tech Talks, a little play there. And those are a singular presentation by a thought leader. For example, we have a tool who's a machine learning expert, an AI expert from Tavant, who's going to break down machine learning for mortgages in 15 minutes.
Wow.
And make it so even I can understand it, which is no small task. So we'll have the Innovator Insights, we have the Tech Talks, and then we'll have stage level demos of each of our sponsors. So have 8 minutes to come up and you sit there. And so it's like speed dating. You're going to see a lot of different technologies and companies, and you'll be able to either compare it against your current vendor, or you'll see, maybe have your eyes opened on something that you really want to adopt for the future. That's there. And then there is a conference space where we call it the Innovation Lab, where all the sponsors will be set up, not in booths, but to have small tables. And I'm really going to encourage people to go through and talk to these folks, because I think sometimes we get into conferences too, and it's like you're walking into a store. You kind of don't want to engage with the salespeople, But all these folks are there. I mean, whether you just want to go and discover and be open and find other lenders to talk to. So hopefully we can figure out some ways to make new connections for folks there. When I've been to different events, just to find my peers and have conversations with them, I mean, it's just so beneficial,
Yeah, absolutely. And, one thing that just, what we're excited about is Shred. We like to come to these events and be a part of them. So we're looking forward to that, obviously. But if you're thinking about coming down, another benefit is that Shred's going to be there doing interviews. So if your company is about implementing technology, if it's about innovating, it's about being what's going to be growing as everyone else is kind of like holding onto their cards and not doing anything, and you want to be one of those, outward facing companies, come connect with me at the event. I'm going to have my equipment there. We're going to be doing live podcasts, live videos, everything else. So we're going to get you front and center. And guess what? You get to use that content for yourself in your own marketing, right? Talk about what your company's doing, getting your message out there. And sometimes, so you're going to have a massive microphone at your disposal just by coming to this event, learning all this great content, like Chuck had mentioned, looking at the different formats, actually getting actionable stuff that you can use to really drive your company forward, but then also get to talk about it and articulate your message, tell your story about what you're doing as a lender to really move this industry forward.
That'd be awesome. I think one of the most relevant things we can provide to our audiences is those types of interviews where we have, the people that are doing it, and they have the same challenges too.
Yep.
So it's always really good to hear that.
So, and again, if you guys haven't seen this speaker list, you can see it on the screen now. I mean, you got Bill Dallas, Dave Zitting, Natalie Hunt, Scott Harris, CEO of Social Survey. Some of our good friends are here. Matt Hansen, CEO of Simple Nexus. There's a bunch more that I'm trying to scroll down to. You can see there it is, Brent Chandler. Brent Chandler's a great friend. And so many other people that you mentioned. Alex.
Jonas.
Yep, Jonas. Oh, yeah, there's Jonas there. Jonas, our good friend over at Top of Mind. And, of course, Kevin Perenio. So you just absolutely went above and beyond when it kind of came to packing the house with incredible speakers. And I think you probably mentioned it more than anything, to be honest, Chuck, is I think there's going to be some great content. You go to some of these conferences and it's like, oh, the content was okay. But like this one is going to be jam-packed with content. It's going to be relevant right now. So you absolutely, again, the conference is August 11th through the 13th. We'll put the link below, but you can also see it on screen right here, right now. So it's going to be a great conference. And again, Chuck, you guys have gone just above and beyond when it came to packing the house with great speakers.
Well, we've been very, very blessed to get this lineup here, especially on our first year. And the entire team and the board of directors for the CMBA and everyone who volunteered on this, our mission when we started this was we knew we had to have great content. We had to have the right people involved in this, and it had to be relevant, pragmatic, exciting, and future oriented. And I think we've achieved that. Now we need people to come out and see it.
There you go. And we're going to get them there. With that being said, we're going to give you one last chance to comment #innovation. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn. So if you comment #innovation, we're going to give those tickets away live right now, right here. That's how we roll. We love to do that. We've had a bunch of people comment. Only a few comments on LinkedIn. So if you want your chance on LinkedIn, hurry and comment. Or on Facebook, like I said, we have comments all throughout. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to comment #innovation.
And look, well, actually, let's just do one giveaway right now. Just
I like it.
The only reason why is because we're live everywhere. We're not going to be able to see comments on every one of the channels.
Yep.
So we can only see a few. So we're going to pick one from the one on the channels that we can see, and then we'll go from there. So everyone put in #innovation if you want a free ticket to come to this event, hang out with some of the leaders, talk with them, engage, and not only that, but have some fun. And the Mavericks on the Midway is going to be fun. Getting to meet, we showed some of the speakers there. Alex is a great guy just to have a one-on-one conversation with, from Sales Boomerang, KP, another great guy,
Yep.
Jonas, Matt Hant. Like there's just a ton of great guys just to have a conversation with. So even if you can't stay for the whole event or a few days or something, we have business, you get a phone call, you get whatever. Just take advantage of being on there. So right now, let's give away the ticket, and I'm going to give away to the one that we saw first. The first person that I saw the comment, looking at across all of our channels, and that is Randy. And I hope I'm saying your last name right, Randy Byers.
Yep.
Randy Byers on LinkedIn. You were the first one that I saw with the #innovation. So you're going to get a free ticket. And then we will look through the rest of our messages on the other channels and see who popped up.
Yeah, and Randy, come and say hi to me, please, when we're at the conference.
There you go. Congratulations, Randy. A bunch more comments coming in now. #innovation. Hey, you got to be first to the party. So, Randy, congratulations. Make sure you go say hi to Chuck and Jason. Do a quick interview with Jason while you're there. Congratulations to Randy Byers. With that, guys, it's been a ton of fun. We want to thank Chuck. We appreciate him taking a few minutes this afternoon talking about the conference. Again, just 8 days. We had the countdown. Where did the countdown timer go? Here we go. We got the countdown timer right there. 8 days away. So
18 hours.
18 hours, 54 minutes, and 39 seconds. So make sure you get your tickets. And like I said, Randy got his, and we're going to give away another one. So make sure you comment #innovation. But Chuck, thank you so much for hanging out with us this afternoon.
Hey, thanks, guys. I look forward to seeing you, Jason. And thanks, Josh. Appreciate it very much.
Absolutely, guys. As
Looking
always,
forward to it.
It's going to be a fun conference. Make sure you show up, you hustle.
Repeat every day.
We'll see you guys soon.